Well, I really think that the financial system could collapse in March of next year, 2 months before the halving. This amount of money being moved around is probably somebody knows that the exchange is going to collapse this weekend or next.
Today, for the Bitcoin price with DaVinci J15, we will talk about Bitcoin on the daily, which is forming right now a W pattern and also which is maybe just before breaking out to higher highs. We will talk with DaVinci J15 about the measured move target of $8,400 or maybe even up to $9,200 and about the perfect strategy according to DaVinci J15, how to play that situation right now. But even more important, towards the end of the video, we will talk about the Federal Reserve of the USA printing money every second. And within the last 3 months, they have actually printed more than 300 billion US dollar worth of US dollar currency. And this is actually 2.5 times the Bitcoin market cap. And also we will talk about the 9 billion US dollar worth of Bitcoin, which were moved on chain within 1 hour. And also DaVinci J15's assumption that something is brewing, because for now, we do not know who owns these Bitcoin. And you know, DaVinci has been predicting the Mt. Gox crash and everything else. And right now he thinks something is brewing and he's withdrawing all his crypto from the exchanges. So a lot of stuff is going on in today's episode. So make sure you stay here. Make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you check out the timestamps in the description down below and you smash up the like button right now. And that being said, we want to come to the most important question of today. DaVinci J15, how are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing good, doing good. I'm hoping for a nice Bitcoin Christmas, as we say.
Yes. So yeah, DaVinci, let's see what's going on for the charts. And to be honest, today I'm not only pumped for the TA, I'm even more pumped for the news, for the Federal Reserve printing money, which actually really points into the direction of a crash, which is getting more and more imminent, and also the 9 billion US dollar worth of Bitcoin and your special update about it.
Yes, okay. Well, let's start off with the charts and big price action. So as you see here, we have a W forming in the price action. And what's interesting about this W is that it's actually forming inside a trade location. This trade location here is like the bottom of the W. It's like rejecting it, sort of like rejecting the 61.8, because this is actually the 61.8 of the move all the way to 14,000. And if I don't have it drawn here, I have it drawn over here, you can see that we also are making the W inside the 61.8 of the $20,000 move down to 3,000. So yeah, we have a trade location within a trade location, a W forming. This is a very powerful signal. If the W forms and finishes up at this particular point, which is 7,900 level. If you break that, you could either do a breakout trade here, but it's very scary. I don't like breakout trades, because where is your stop loss on the breakout trade? Effectively, if you were to say, if you want to run a breakout trade, I have to honestly say your stop loss has to be at the bottom, the real bottom, the actual local bottom of the lowest bottom of the W. And so what are you talking about? You're talking just for a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio in order to you can save face on this. You're talking about price at 10,600, right? I mean, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So this is why I don't like breakout trades. If for a trade, there's just not a decent way to set the your stop loss. So anyways, what we can see here, if we can just get up here, wow, I think we could at least make it to the 8,400 level, which is actually 8,455, which is good enough. My only concern is that I'd have to say you should take profits here. You don't have to take all your profits here, but the reason why is because look what's here. There's the 13 EMA on the weekly is right there at 8,400. So it's going to be a significant amount of selling pressure. Mm-hmm. Coming in from the bears, and they're going to be taking big swipes at the bulls.
Yes.
At this price level.
Yes. So the 13 EMA is very important. If we were to break it and close above, that would be very bullish. But you are saying breaking it and closing above will be extremely hard because of all this selling pressure going on there at these levels, right?
Exactly. And then, but here we do have a trade here. What I call the F, like the FU trades, right? Because I know they're going to do an FU. You just know it.
Yeah.
They do not like, if they want to take this thing higher, they do not want people to come along. Now, we have a problem with, of course, this is a bearish signal here. So if you want to take this trade, you must accept this could take a, we could go wrong on this, because this is already signaled a bear signal right here. So this is why I want to, if you want to take that risk that, hey, maybe we're going to make this W. They might wick us down here, stop everybody out, and then take us higher.
Yes.
If they're going to do this. So to get into this and get into a position of strength, you can buy here and make sure that your losses are only small enough to, like, you're going to go, oh, well, whatever, it's like $50, it's like $100, it's like nothing. Make sure that whatever that loss is doesn't affect you.
Yes.
Right? And then you're trading properly. So if you're going to take the loss, it's going to be something small, and then look at your reward. If this work out, 5.5 almost to 1.
Well,
so
that's a very nice risk to reward ratio, and we don't need a $10,300 price of Bitcoin to close the trade. That's much friendlier.
Exactly. Now, yeah, again, but you just got to understand that this thing could go against us, and you have to accept that. Trading's not an exact science. So with that said, this is where the trade I suggested people should take. You don't have to take it. You could always take the breakout trade if you want to. You just need to know where your stop loss is going to be, and I don't know where that is other than down here, and I don't think you're going to be able to make much money off of that. Yeah. So it's not worth it. In my personal opinion. Now, somebody else like Carl, he does breakout trades, and I think he should really show you how to do a stop loss, honestly. But that's where I'm at. I don't see anything else with Bitcoin. I hope, right? If we do break out, there is another chance. Like I remember showing you at the very beginning that sometimes what I do with the W's, right, especially if they're very powerful, instead of doing an AB equals CD, I take the actual length and I draw it and redouble it, and so we could see it go to the 9200 level. So if we get into this trade, what you can do is take partial profits here, like maybe half, and see if it runs all the way up to 9200, and you just move your stop to this level here.
Yeah,
that's it, done.
Yeah,
so that you still walk away with profit.
Yeah, exactly. If you take profit at this target, you will be already in a profit, even though the rest of your position is going to be wiped out. So that sounds like a very good plan. Of course, the trade can be lost. Also, you have to take that into consideration. But everyone who wants to see that, there is a link of our Telegram group in the description down below, where we will share the trading setup, of course, completely for free. It will be always for free. The Telegram group is for free. All the discussion with the MMCrypto team and with DaVinci, everything for free until infinity. Of course, only if we have time, but the group itself will be always for free. So make sure you check that out. And DaVinci, now the very, very favorite part of this episode is going to start right now, because we have extremely important stuff to talk about, and what everything comes down to, not only for Bitcoin but for your dear life, guys, is the economy. Because the economy in the US, in Europe, in all the developing countries, it is going to happen something important within the next maybe even 1 or 1.5 years. And it always comes down to the central banks. They are the hubs of the financial power in the system. And what you can see right now, the biggest central bank, the Federal Reserve of the United States, is that they are actually printing a lot of money. And why are they printing money? Because they are creating debt, and they are creating debt to pump money into the system. Because what they are doing is they are printing money, and then they are buying government bonds and stuff to pump the money into the system, actually, to quantitative ease the system, and to keep it alive, to keep the flows alive in the system. And as you know, once they stop, something will happen. And probably you know what's going to happen. Da Vinci, maybe you can elaborate a little bit more about that and let us know what's happening right now. Because if you press on the 6 month, maybe Da Vinci, can you do that? We can see the magnitude of what has happened within the last few months. And let me take that, and afterwards, Da Vinci, it's your take. You can see, dear viewers, that within the last 3 months, the Federal Reserve has been printing more than 300 billion US dollar worth of US dollars, and they have been expanding their balance sheet like crazy, which means that within the last 3 months they would be able actually to buy the entire Bitcoin market cap, all Bitcoin, if the people would be willing to sell, 2.5 times within 3 months. So Da Vinci, what are your thoughts about it? And maybe you can also build some bridges over to Bitcoin and how this whole happening right now also will impact the Bitcoin price.
Okay, well, this is very interesting. Yeah, I know this can like really, these people could buy Bitcoin like 30 times over with their balance sheet, the all-time high of their balance sheet. You can see $4 trillion worth, right? Because each one is like millions of dollars, so this is like 4 trillion. But this money out in the economy, all of this money that's out inside an economy, is, you could say, okay, well, wait a second, this could like trickle into food, commodities, and cause price inflation, should be causing massive price inflation. Why is it not doing that? Is what you're probably the real question. Because honestly, from 2008 till now, I mean, their balance sheet was $1 trillion, and it's went up 3x basically on a basic average, right? 3x more. Has prices gone up 3 times more since 2008? No, they pretty much like almost doubled, but they still haven't tripled, right? Yeah. Prices haven't tripled. So from the 2008 level. Now, the reason why this money is not affecting us directly right away is, one, printing money requires 18 months before it actually gets into the system and does damage. And on top of that, one of the things you have to understand is about money is that if you print a bunch of money and give it to everybody and nobody spends it, prices don't increase. Because if you just take it and save it under your mattress, nothing's going to happen to prices. Now, so the Federal Reserve and the banking system understands this, and so what they do is restrict qualified investors, right, from investing in assets that would make the dollar look bad. So they want you to invest in the Amazon stocks. They want you to invest in venture capital stocks, all kinds of risky gambling things, or even derivatives. They'd rather you go to derivatives, of course. So, for example, if you want to buy gold and silver or Bitcoin, just don't buy the real thing. Just buy the fake stuff and bet on the price. And so that money never gets, that money that they've printed never gets into the system to inflate prices if you're using it just to gamble. And so that's why you don't see massive price inflation, because the Federal Reserve and the banking system ensures that accredited investors do not purchase real assets that would cause price inflation. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
I think that's a very, very nice view on the scope of things right now, and especially it's something the people are not really talking about. But you're right. Like, just looking at the real estate prices, even talking about a doubling in price, which is maniac in 10 years, and which is definitely not a 2% inflation rate like they are saying. We are talking about a tripling or even 3.5, like 4.5 times the balance sheet, like 4 times, then there's a huge difference, and definitely something is about to happen. Da Vinci, what do you think in terms of the time horizon? What do you think, how much time do we have until the financial system actually collapses? I know it's very hard to estimate because they can just keep it alive more and more and more and just print more money, even though Jerome Powell is saying this is not quantitative easing, this is definitely quantitative easing. So, but if you would have to take a guess, if someone points a gun to your head and asks you, tell me a date, what do you think would be the most likely time frame that we can see the financial system collapse?
I would say either March of next year, September of next year, or at the latest March of 2021 is
Okay.
my dates that I would say we can see the collapse occur in the US dollar. Well, actually, this is like going to happen over in stages. So I mean, let's see what happens. Once Deutsche Bank goes down, then that's the first indication that we're in the beginning of the collapse.
I would love to see March because that would just perfectly coincide with the halvening 2 months later, and which would maybe in the best case scenario trigger some like front running and FOMO kind of rushing into Bitcoin. In the best case scenario, of course, no one knows if it's a huge crash. We might even see some negative effects for Bitcoin, but only in the short term. But thank you so much for that, Da Vinci. And yeah, also you had another major news, which everyone is already aware of, the 9 billion US dollar worth of Bitcoin being moved on chain within 1 hour. As I said, everyone knows about it already, but Da Vinci, the fact that no one really knows who owns these Bitcoin is the most interesting part here. And you are saying something is brewing and you are taking action right now with your crypto holdings. Can you please elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, when I heard about this amount of bitcoins moving, I would have figured, right, if an exchange was planning to make some moves of their currency, they would have said, hey, you know what? Let's not spook the market. Let's not cause any kind of panic. Let's tell our clients and the customers that, hey, this is what we're doing. That don't worry about it. It's just this, because that did not happen, and everybody's speculating. And I have concerns because whenever I see this in the past, is that Bitcoin, whenever I've seen this, right, there's always something going to go down big. Something big's going to go down where you can see somebody knows something big. And I think one of the exchanges are going to collapse either this weekend or next. So I would suggest you get your money out of exchanges and not put a lot and leave a lot there for trading. So I'm a little concerned about this. I think somebody with lots of money is moving this money to protect themselves.
Yes.
So you should do the same.
So, putting that together, of course, guys, we don't have a crystal ball. We can't know that an exchange is for 100% certainty going to collapse. But the simple fact that this thing is happening right now should urge you a little bit to see that something might be brewing. And like withdrawing your funds, your crypto funds from an exchange is always a good thing. So if you are withdrawing right now and holding them yourself on the private key, even though something is not happening, you did make the right decision, because not your keys, not your Bitcoin. And Da Vinci, thank you so much for talking about that. If we remember ourselves correctly, in 2013 you actually predicted the Mount Gox going down, and you predicted a lot of other stuff, and it was always on point. So just being a little bit more cautious right now with that things happening is not a bad thing at all. Even though nothing is going to happen in 1 or 2 weeks, it will be a very good thing to take that security precautions. So thanks, Da Vinci. Thanks for taking your time. And do you have any things to share?
No, I just want to close it off by saying have a good weekend, everybody. I'm going to be heading off to the beach, and yeah, so make sure you trade from a position of strength and don't get wrecked.
Do not get wrecked, guys. I will also go to the beach, but tomorrow, right now, it's already very late here in Boracay, Philippines. So yeah, kind regards to everyone. Much love. Thank you so much for watching our videos every single day, like 5 times a week. It's amazing to have you guys on. Make sure you go down and you subscribe to our channel. You hit the bell button. It's a big pleasure to have you all in our Telegram group and everywhere. It just fills me up with joy and pleasure to make these videos here for the MMCrypto channel. And yeah, I just feel so much gratitude. I cannot phrase it in words, to be alive, to be in Bitcoin, to have this vehicle, this safe haven once things will collapse, and they will collapse, guys. Just go to the Federal Reserve balance sheet and you will see the proof. I would already say proof for that happening anytime in the future. So thank you so much, Da Vinci. Don't get wrecked, guys. Always remember these words. Make sure you smash up the like button, and we will see each other very soon at the next one of MMCrypto, most probably already tomorrow. So make sure you are here. And that being said, as always, guys, as always. Bye bye.